It's 3:17 a.m. Most of the world is asleep. The oceans are calm. The cities are quiet. And hanging above Earth is the moon. Then it disappears. No explosion. No flash. No warning. 1 second it's there. The next second, it's gone. Nobody notices at first. But by sunrise, the entire planet is in shock. Astronomers are staring at empty space. Observatories around the world are checking their equipment. People rush outside to see if the photos online are fake. They're not. The moon is gone. Completely gone. And at that moment, humanity realizes something terrifying. We have absolutely no idea what happens next. Because despite looking harmless in the night sky, the moon is not just a giant rock. It is one of the most important objects in Earth's history. And without it, our planet begins to change. The first change is something you'd actually feel. Tonight, when darkness falls, the world becomes darker than most humans have ever experienced. On a full moon night, moonlight can illuminate entire mountains, forests, deserts, and oceans. Without it, vast parts of the world are swallowed by darkness. Imagine standing outside, looking up, expecting to see that familiar glow, and finding nothing. Just an empty black sky. But while people are staring upward, something much bigger is happening below them. The oceans are beginning to behave differently. And that's where the real trouble starts. Right now, the moon's gravity constantly pulls on Earth's oceans. That pull creates the tides we experience every single day. The rise and fall of massive bodies of water. The rhythm that countless marine ecosystems depend on. Without the moon, those tides don't completely disappear. The sun still exerts its own gravitational pull. But Earth's tides would become dramatically weaker. At first, that may not sound like a disaster. But for millions of living creatures, it could be. Entire coastal ecosystems rely on tidal cycles to survive. Fish, crabs, shellfish, seabirds, and countless other species have evolved around this natural rhythm. Suddenly changing that rhythm would throw entire ecosystems into chaos. And this is where scientists start getting worried. Because the moon wasn't just controlling the oceans. It was quietly helping stabilize the entire planet. You see, Earth isn't perfectly upright. Our planet is tilted. That tilt is why we have seasons. Spring. Summer. Autumn. Winter. And for billions of years, the moon has acted like a giant stabilizer. Almost like a cosmic anchor. Holding Earth's tilt relatively steady. Without the moon, that stability begins to disappear. Not overnight. Not next year. But over thousands and millions of years. Earth's tilt could start changing unpredictably. Imagine a future where regions that are warm today become frozen. Where deserts turn green. Where fertile land becomes barren. Where climates shift so dramatically that entire civilizations would have to adapt. The Earth we know today would slowly become a different world. But the moon was doing something even more important. Something that affects every single second of your life. Time itself. Right now, the moon's gravity is slowly slowing down Earth's rotation. It's an incredibly tiny effect. Far too small for us to notice. But over billions of years, it has changed the length of Earth's day. Hundreds of millions of years ago, a day on Earth was significantly shorter than it is today. The moon helped shape the rhythm of our planet. Without it, Earth's future evolution would be completely different. But let's return to the present. Because humanity would not stay calm for long. Within hours, every news channel on Earth would be covering the same story. Governments would hold emergency meetings. Scientists would work without sleep. Observatories would point every telescope toward the empty space where the moon once existed. Social media would explode with theories. Aliens. Secret experiments. A simulation glitch. A hidden government weapon. The end of the world. Everyone would have an explanation. And nobody would have evidence. For the first time in human history, billions of people would be united by the same terrifying mystery. What happened to the moon? And then comes the most unsettling realization of all. The moon didn't just influence Earth. It may have helped create us. Scientists believe the moon formed billions of years ago when a Mars-sized object slammed into the young Earth. The collision was unimaginably violent. The debris blasted into space. And over time, that debris came together to form the moon. Without that event, Earth might never have become the stable world we know today. The oceans could have been different. The climate could have been different. Life itself could have taken an entirely different path. Which means that without the moon, you might not exist. Think about that. For something that seems so distant. The moon has been shaping our story from the very beginning. It has guided the tides. Stabilized our planet. Illuminated our nights. And silently watched over every chapter of human history. We rarely think about it. We rarely appreciate it. Because we assume it will always be there. But if the moon vanished tonight, humanity would wake up in a different world. Not because Earth would explode. Not because life would end tomorrow. But because we'd suddenly realize how much of our world depended on something we barely noticed. A silent companion in the sky. Gone. Leaving behind only darkness. And one terrifying question. What else do we take for granted? Until it's gone.